Hello everyone and welcome to episode 15 of In Case You Missed It. Another week and we're all back. It's been a little while since we've done an In Case You Missed It.
And we're now on YouTube.
We are indeed. Hello to everyone listening on YouTube. If you're new to the show, there's three of us here and we're actually all here this week, so that makes a nice change for everyone. And as usual, we are joined by Tommy.
Hello.
And Steve.
Hello, how you doing? I want to say hi to you two, and hello to all our new listeners on YouTube. How are we all doing?
So if you're listening on YouTube, or if you've found us through something else, we are also on iTunes and Spotify, or if you're listening on one of those, we're on YouTube as well. So go and hit subscribe.
Soon to be on Google Podcasts and Stitcher.
Yeah, so if you want to go and...
WIP.
Everywhere now, literally everywhere.
So if you want to go and subscribe on everything and leave a rate and review on iTunes especially, that's really helpful. Even if you listen on something else, go and subscribe on iTunes.
Spread the word.
But if you don't know about the YouTube and you do listen to us on one of the other platforms, then we're on YouTube now.
Yeah,
we just launched.
Go and subscribe on there as well, and say where you came from.
You may have heard the In 10, the top 10 billion-dollar movies. There's a video of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
You may have seen that. There's also audio of that.
And the same goes for our Avengers Endgame spoiler. That's also on our YouTube channel. That was our first video on there.
With Captain Dave.
If you didn't listen to that because you hadn't watched Endgame by that point, go and listen to that. And yeah. So this week we're going to start the episode we got some sad news yesterday.
Last night it broke. It was very upset.
Last night we found out that Peter Mayhew, the man who portrayed Chewbacca in the original trilogy, and he came back for Revenge of the Sith, and he did some work in Force Awakens as well. Yeah,
I mean, even outside that, he did a lot for charity.
Yeah,
various charities, Make-A-Wish, etc. But he also started his own, the Peter Mayhew Foundation.
Yeah,
I mean, they're asking for, instead of like flowers or presents and stuff like that people make donations to that foundation. I think his wife is gonna continue running that from now on, which is great. And I know there's obviously going to be the family and friends funeral next month, and I think there's going to be like a fan one at one of the LA cons towards the end in December, I think. So yeah, if you're in that area, you want to pay your respects, then do so, because I mean, he's not only been a big part of the Star Wars franchise. I mean, a lot of Chewbacca's famous like movements and the way he like walks and runs and stuff, and the human eyes, that's all him. And he was even a consultant, I think, wasn't he, on The Last Jedi?
Yeah,
and Solo.
Yeah, probably, because it's now Jonas Suotamo, I think that's probably not how you pronounce it, but he took over in The Force Awakens, where Peter Mayhew it seemed to be most of the sitting down stuff, because he couldn't...
Although he did famously stand again as Chewbacca, like it got him out of the wheelchair to stand again in the Chewbacca suit, which is quite amazing, really.
Yeah. And to see that, and he was consulting with Jonas, and obviously he couldn't walk as easily, so Jonas was doing that, and they kind of he passed the Wookiee arm. I don't know. I was trying to the crossbow. There we go. I got that. That'll do.
The Wookiee
bowcaster.
Yeah, the bowcaster. He passed it on.
The bandolier.
The ship. The keys to the Falcon.
Yeah, that's some sad news, but he's definitely left his mark on the world.
Oh yeah, what an amazing life and an amazing legacy.
Yeah.
And like that's not an easy character. You've got all that prosthetics and fur on, and like to bring life to that walking carpet, as Chewbacca was called. That can't have been an easy thing to do, and Chewbacca gets a lot of love from everyone in Star Wars. Our thoughts and prayers are with everyone, his friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's jump into our normal routine as we look at the trailers. It's been a little while, so we've got a few to go through. So let's start with 21 Bridges, which is produced by the Russo brothers. You may have heard of them from directing The Winter Soldier, Civil War.
No,
very small indie stuff, I think.
Infinity War, Endgame. Have you heard of them? No. This one also stars Chadwick Boseman, who plays Black Panther.
Bossman? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. What did you guys think of this trailer?
It looked great. It kind of gave me like sort of Detroit Widows vibes, that kind of urban like cop action thriller. It just, and at the beginning it sort of felt like a bit like a noir. Yeah, it just looks really, really interesting. And I think as the trailer went on, it sort of revealed more about, this is going to have this message. And it's going to, have these implications. And I think it's kind of going to talk about a lot of the things that I really wanted Black Klansman to talk about, but didn't.
Right.
I think my only reservation, we was looking at the director, whose name I actually forget right now.
I was literally just about to look it up.
But he's mostly known for TV stuff, which Brian Kirk, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, the Russos started in the same medium, but it doesn't always. The shift isn't always quite so natural. So I'd be interested to see.
The Dark World
shift. So I'll be interested. I mean, interestingly, he also directed some Game of Thrones episodes. Yeah. So it'd be interested to see how he does. But judging the trailer as the trailer, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, Steve?
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm always up for seeing like Marvel actors break out from their kind of typecast roles. Because you see, like, I don't know, Chris Evans, and he's now going to be associated with Captain America. But to see him, Mr. Boseman, kind of branch out from just being Black Panther and flexing his muscles for a different kind of film and genre, I'm all for it. Like you said, I like seeing kind of the split side between not only like the police and the detectives, but also the people that shot the cops as well. So the good and the bad guys. To see how those kind of narratives mix together and how they intertwine and that. So yeah, I'm all down for it. It's really good.
My only worry potentially with this is if it ends up just being like one of these generic sort of action films that we get, like I don't know, the one that kind of specifically reminded me was American Assassin. I got that similar sort of vibes from it.
I agree. I think what it was for me was the sort of scene on the train. Sort of toward the end of the trailer, sort of the conversations they were having that made me think like they're addressing some more important issues about police shooting first, things like that. Yeah. So I think there's going to be a really important sub plot to this.
Yeah,
I think
if they address it, which I really hope they do. It's a very important issue.
Getting them to shut down all the bridges, all the trains, all that. Shut down the whole city to catch these two guys. I'm down.
Are we going to see all 21 bridges?
Hell yeah. It's going to be like a sightseeing tour.
Do you reckon it will come down to like the last bridge?
It's just him on like a London bus going
around. The 21st bridge.
This is the first bridge.
So on the show we do a yes, no, maybe sort of thing, like whether we're going to see the film and if this trailer worked for us. What do you think, Tommy?
Yes.
Yeah? Steve?
Yes, indeed it did.
Better than Van Helsing?
No.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll give it a yes. It might not be as a strong yes.
I'm pretty strong. Mine's a pretty strong yes.
I think I'll probably on the lesser yes, going closer to a maybe.
Less
but
yes.
Still yes. Still a yes.
Come on.
I've changed. So in the second trailer that we got was
changed. We've all changed in many ways.
To another trailer that we got recently was for Ang Lee's Gemini Man, starring Will Smith. Will Smith versus Will Smith.
Will Smith on a trend of bad CGI roles at the moment. It looks so Uncanny Valley in a bad way. It looks so like plastic.
Is there a good way for Uncanny Valley? But in a bad way.
Like Deus Ex. That's a good bad way, I guess. But yeah, it just looks so weird.
Yeah, there's some. I think we were talking about the frame rate issues. It looked like as well. I don't know if they're doing that.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the trailer.
48 frames, like Hobbit kind of thing. I don't know. Something's not right. The story looks interesting enough, I suppose. In a kind of classic, almost Philip K. Dick kind of sci-fi way. I really like Ang Lee. I don't know. This trailer did not do anything to convince me.
It's kind of like a poor man's Looper, in that kind of fashion.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I don't know. It's just that CGI is going to be the big turning point, and I think as on a whole, it kind of looked decent.
It's the thing they say that the more reference footage they have, the easier it is. And there's a lot of 90s Will Smith.
He was on TV.
Samuel Jackson worked incredibly well in Captain Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Douglas looks amazing in the Ant-Man flashbacks.
It just seems to be a bit of a resurgence with Will Smith now at the moment. Obviously, you got this film, you got Aladdin as well. He's doing another film as well, so he's really getting his money's worth at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Did you guys see that Bel Air trailer?
Yes, it looks so good.
Did you not see this? No. So basically, a fan essentially made a trailer for Bel Air as if it was a film coming out now, directed by like Ryan Coogler.
Right.
So it's like what's the Fruitvale Station?
Right.
Like meets Bel Air. It looks incredible. Will Smith is 100% behind it. He met with the guy that made it, and they're talking about making it like a TV show or something like that, trying to get it off the ground because it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to check it out.
I'll check it out.
It is really. It came out about a month ago, a month and a half maybe.
Yeah, it came out like pretty quietly, and it just kind of gained steam over the last few weeks.
Yeah,
it's gone viral, and it's so good.
It's literally if Ryan Coogler directed the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air story, what it would look like.
Yeah,
I'm down for that.
It looks incredible.
Yeah.
What is a really cool way for that filmmaker to sort of make a statement and say like, look what I can do.
Yeah, as a calling card.
Yeah, it was like the guy who made like the Power Rangers short film from the bootleg universe, because I think he also made Dirty Laundry, didn't he? The Punisher. Yeah. So that I love that sort of stuff. You know, if you're going to make a fan film as a calling card, like this is a cool one. I mean, kind of on that subject, I kind of prefer it when they just do like a short film, but the trailer in this context works because we all know that story. But yeah, you can sort of fill in the blanks.
Yeah, Gemini Man.
No, yes to better.
Steve?
Yeah, this is a no from me.
Better than Van Helsing?
No, there's no flying vampires in that film, so count me out.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah, we can't guarantee that.
There could be a massive twist, I don't know.
Would that make it better than Van Helsing?
No.
Oh.
It's no Hugh Jackman.
Oh, so Hugh Jackman
don't know that.
means that a film could be... It's got to have Hugh Jackman
It's a certain criteria. Hugh Jackman, flying vampires, spinning hand blades. Got those three...
Why is that?
Because they're so cool.
The Holy Trinity.
Yeah, the Holy Trinity. You've got those three ingredients. Sign me up to a film. Can't wait.
What if it doesn't have Hugh Jackman in?
What, and spinning blades and
What if
vampires?
we've got two of the three? Any two of the three.
It needs all three. It needs to be like a clear shot.
All three.
But that's
so
the
if
only way.
Les Mis had some spinning hand blades,
and then flying vampires, then maybe.
And it's a musical.
And it's a musical. Oh, that's another love of mine as well.
Exactly.
Van Helsing the musical. Make it happen, Universal. I mean, I'll buy it.
James, when are we going to have a musical episode of In Case You Missed It?
Yeah. I was in the choir for 5 years.
Let's
I've got some great lyrics and some great vocals.
So the next trailer that we got was for another Adam Sandler film. He has this lovely deal with Netflix where he gets so many films.
I think it's like 7 he's got.
He's got a few.
He's got a handful signed up.
But this next one is called Murder Mystery. I'm sure you can work out what it's about from the title. Starring Jennifer Aniston as well. So they're back together after Just Go With It.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of duo, isn't it? They form now with each other. I think two very unlikely actors coming together.
Is it Just Go With It?
Just Go With It.
Is that it?
Yeah, when they go to Hawaii.
I like that movie.
And
do you know what? This trailer actually worked for me. I was really surprised because given this slate of other Adam Sandler Netflix films, excluding Meyerowitz Stories, which isn't part of that deal,
no,
'cause that film is fantastic. This actually looks quite...
Have you watched any of his other Netflix ones?
I can do it. I can get past the trailers.
I think.
There's a Ridiculous Six. There's like a cop one or something.
There's one with
Undercover or something like that.
The guy who played Paul Blart. There's one as well. And David
Spade.
Was his special part, his comedy special part of that? Because I've heard that's
it
pretty
might have
good.
been actually.
I've heard that's pretty good.
Adam Sandler, there's a certain kind of scale. I think you've got like Click. You've got like
and this looks like it's more in that vein rather than the grown-ups kind of
Pixels.
silly stuff. Yeah, the Cobbler. You know.
That was good. I enjoyed that film.
What, The Cobbler?
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. What's your favourite Adam Sandler film?
Favourite Adam Sandler? Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore, really?
Yeah, I love
it. Is it 30 First Dates?
50.
50 First Dates.
Yeah.
A little bit weird. I like it, yeah.
Favourite Adam Sandler, like comedy or film that he's in?
Comedy.
Grown Ups too,
obviously.
Is Funny People one of his comedies technically? Because it's quite dramatic.
We can stretch to that, I guess.
Yeah, than that, because he's really good in that.
I haven't watched it.
50 First
Meyerowitz
Dates.
Story is also really funny and really good, I think.
Steve, what did you think of this trailer?
Like, it caught me off guard because, like, obviously we just discussed when you see Adam Sandler on Netflix, you thought, right, it's gonna be like a Grown Ups 2.
Oh, Sandy Wexler and The Do-Over are those other two films.
Sandy Wexler.
Yeah,
it's a great cop name.
Is the Do-Over the one with David Spade?
I think so. Yeah.
Ugh. I don't like David Spade. I'm sorry if you're listening.
Ouch! It's really hurt his feelings. He's one of our new listeners on YouTube, and he broke his heart. Yeah, but anyway, like the trailer is great. I had a few chuckles behind it. I like the concept of a cop kind of on the run.
Yeah,
solving a
it
murder
feels
mystery.
almost like a game nighty kind of vibe, like having a bit of fun, turning it real. Sort of like Clue, but a bit more adventurous.
Oh. It's going to kind of parody some cliches.
Maybe like
stuff like that.
Is it The Spy Who Loved? No, what's
the one with Mila Kunis?
Yeah, The Spy Who Dumped Me.
Yeah, I watched that.
Kind of like The Spy Who Dumped Me meets Game Night meets Clue, and yeah, I was actually kind of about it. It looks okay. It's a Netflix film, so I'm okay to sort of check it out. You know, kind of
When
no
you need
stakes.
to.
Yeah, it's not like a night out.
I love murder mystery films, and I just want more serious ones instead of goofy ones where it's just going to be something stupid, like as the person who did it, and like something you never saw coming, and it's just.
Did you like
it
The
was
Murder on the
I
Orient
was gonna
Express?
say, yeah, did you enjoy
Yeah.
that?
I like the original one better, the
The 70s one.
70s one, and what was it? I don't know. I won't get into it because I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But I love Clue. And I think I'm gonna end up comparing this to Clue, which
an unfair
this is
comparison.
gonna
Yeah, that's a high
That's a
bar.
stretch.
But
Clue is
exactly.
fantastic.
exactly. And
To be fair, Game Night is also an incredible film.
yeah, which proves that it can be done. But
That was an absolute gem. Everyone needs to see that film.
I
yeah,
haven't seen Game Night.
You should see it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think you'd really like
It
it.
was in my top 10 for a very long time.
Oh, really?
It's so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
So it sounds like you're giving this trailer a yes.
I'm giving it a yes, actually, and that surprises me. On the premise of like, oh, it's the new, Adam Sandler comedy
Yeah.
film. It's not my cup of tea. It's not what I'm about really. So I was really surprised that I was so interested in it from that trailer.
Steve.
Yeah, it's a yes. It's a Netflix film, so I'm in no rush to see it. I'll just catch it on a quiet night. And
Yeah, that's
Don't
why
really need
I'm gonna say a maybe for it because it's Netflix and I can just watch it. If it was in the cinema, again because I could just go and watch everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true.
So from that point of view,
Yeah.
the next trailer was probably the biggest of the last while and caused a lot of talking points. Is Sonic the Hedgehog.
gotta go fast.
This trailer is a train wreck for me.
Yeah.
I hated it.
I kind of liked it.
I know you did. So
I liked it as well, actually.
Yeah, I don't get. I get that people don't like his design and that, but
It's not even the design for me. It's taking it's not the character for me. I think I didn't play that much Sonic the Hedgehog growing up, but I don't like this when they bring in a character from another world into our world for seemingly no particular reason. I'd rather see the character in his world doing his own thing that relates to him.
I think
Rather than like it's the same thing they did with the Smurfs where they brought them into our world, and then by the third Smurf film they were like, oh no, people don't like that. We'll just
Get back to Smurf
Yeah.
Village.
Yeah, I think for Sonic, if you don't know, there's a lot of like history and story behind the games and that if you read into it. I think they had numerous ways to do this film. I think it could have been done all animated. I would have been fine with that. But I don't mind this whole live action like hybrid. Like it was funny. I laughed at it. I'm all for Jim Carrey being that 90s
Yeah, he
Jim
looks
Carrey.
like back to that old Jim Carrey that we haven't seen in a while.
but that's
Yeah, yeah.
interesting because it didn't really work for me.
You didn't know if you. Oh, I
No.
thought this was like very kind of maskish or.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I love the mask, but I don't know. I feel like it was trying too hard and expected it. I feel like they just went, Jim, you do what you want, and he just.
Which I think is what
I'm
works
fine
for
with that.
Jim,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think that works for him. But I think he's just too past it now, and I feel like he's just always trying to get back to that sort of 90s high that he was on with Ace Ventura and
I mean,
and the mask
I
and
don't-
that sort
what
of
was
thing.
the last film we did? Like, was it Yes Man? Probably the last film we sort of had in this sort of vein. Oh no, we tried with Dumb and Dumber 2,
Yeah,
but that film had all sorts of troubles with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. This trailer actually really worked for me. I was really surprised. I don't really have any connection to Sonic the Hedgehog. I played some of the games.
Yeah.
You know, is there a TV series? Did I watch a
Oh,
TV
there's
series?
loads of TV series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might have watched a few episodes of a TV series.
Yeah.
But it's not a character I'm particularly protective over or know much about. So sort of watching this as from a pretty blank canvas kind of perspective, I was really interested. And I think the design didn't quite work for me, but seeing I think we should talk about it. Seeing the fan designs that obviously went viral, that everyone was much happier with. And then obviously the studio have now come out and said, we've heard what you've said. They did what the Academy did like 4 times last
It's an
year.
announcement.
Like, we've listened to you, and we're gonna make the changes. Which, I mean, while I agree that the changes, it's the right change to make, it sets a weird precedent for, I don't know, changing that, because are they listening to a vocal minority? It's just a weird. It's the power to the Twitter people that I don't know
Yeah.
they all should have that power.
I kind of agree. It doesn't sit well with me, to be honest.
Doesn't
because
feel right.
As a filmmaker and like an art style, I think you should stick to your guns. Go right. No, I've decided he's going to look like this, so that's how he's going to stay. It's just a lot to do though. Thinking you've got the film to do, you've got merchandise, McDonald's toys to do a whole complete redesign. I think you said earlier. Surely they've got a few designs already sorted.
So I have a sneaky suspicion that apparently reports are coming out that one of like the consultants from Sega who's working on the film had voiced many concerns about the design, and I guess they kind of went stuck with their guns a little bit. They maybe considered this possibility anyway and had something on the back burner, maybe some alternate merchandise. Because I mean, the posters they throw out, it's not the first poster. They will have hundreds of posters back there, so I'm sure they can like plug in, plug out. So if they've already got a render made up and it's a case of plug it in and re-rendering. I know I'm really I'm oversimplifying
just
it.
Copy and paste it in.
I'm oversimplifying it massively, but it's it's not the most difficult thing in the world. I don't think they're not like dramatically resizing him, so like repainting stuff, things like that of that nature. But I just again while I'm part of that group that thinks like this does look better than that, I just think it sets a dangerous precedent for films going forward.
I think it was a while ago that we got the leaks of what it looked like that Sonic could potentially look like.
November time, yeah.
Yeah, it was a while ago, and I think it was at one of the cons they showed some footage. I think was it New York?
New York, I think it was like CinemaCon.
Oh, maybe, but they showed. And I reckon there might have been some backlash then when they thought, maybe we need to sort this out.
It's already been changed once, because before, it's a weird change to make. He had like really like strong leg muscles, really muscly, and they changed it from the original renders. So there's been one change already.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I think it can be done, but...
So the release date of the film, just at the moment,
like December
is
time?
November to December.
Well, from the trailer anyway, I think it looked like the renders were pretty early on in development.
Well,
it didn't.
Here's something I
hopefully
ask.
It wasn't finished.
Obviously, we're at a stage now where changes like this, one thing or the other, and we've had stuff like removing Kevin Spacey from a film based on obviously more serious issues. But where do you think that stands where, you get backlash like Michael Keaton shouldn't play Batman or Heath Ledger shouldn't play the Joker? These types of things where people have come out early complaining, Ben Affleck should be Batman, whatever. And then these films come out and then people are like, oh no, that was great. Yeah. Are we setting a precedent where we're taking the control away from, the professionals. And then maybe, affecting, and are we going to see something in the future where, we're being robbed of that Heath Ledger performance because they see the response and they go, oh, actually, we can just afford to, that they start including in actors' contracts that we can replace you in the film and, just do some reshoots and stuff like that. Where technology advances and these things get easier and easier and the more and more money in films, are they going to be able to do that stuff? Are they going to listen to that vocal minority who haven't seen things yet and are just basing it off, one small thing? Is that the road we're going down?
Like I said earlier, I think if you're like quite an esteemed director and you want to stick to your guns, it won't change. Like, if the Russos, I don't know, cast someone in the next Avengers film that no one liked, they'll go, no, we're not going to change it because we've made the decision ourselves. It's like when they had Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. Like, the director was like, no, I'm keeping him as that, even though there's a massive like fan outcry about it. This is my Human Torch.
But this is a new world. This is where the fan outcry has affected the film.
Yeah.
So, going forward, where does that leave us?
I just got visions of Christopher Plummer wearing a green screen suit and being Sonic the Hedgehog. Getting Chris. Got to go fast.
So this film, that yes or no, or maybe, or whatever.
Yes.
I'm still a yes, but get rid of Gangster's Paradise because it had no place in that.
Yeah, that was a weird music choice. I'm actually gonna go no.
Not really.
I'll watch it because I'll watch everything, but
Or it's gonna be like Yogi Bear or the Smurfs.
Yeah, I don't know. Better than Van Helsing. What if it has Hugh Jackman?
Spinning Blades of Vampires. It's still gonna be a no.
Oh
no.
So even if it has all three, the Holy Trinity, no.
No.
Whoa, that's interesting. See, your logic just doesn't make sense.
Because it needs Hugh Jackman in it.
But I said, what if it has Hugh Jackman?
It had all three of it.
Yeah.
Okay. What, him as Sonic?
Sure.
No, it just wouldn't work. It's a kid's film.
I don't understand.
Who's Van Helsing for, other than you?
Pre-teens. I don't know. Apparently, but looking at video game movies and that, I think
Pre-teens are children, aren't they?
Don't mock me on this. Anyway, looking at video game movies, I think Detective Pikachu, what we've seen from the early impressions and reviews and that, I think that's going to be the golden child of video
What if
game
they
movies.
because there was a lot of complaints about the renders of that, some of the
Well,
furry Pikachu.
oh yeah.
What if they change that?
I think at the start now, but I think it's kind of died down.
Exactly.
Everyone's like, oh yeah, it's cute.
Exactly. It's a dangerous
'Cause it
precedent.
works.
It's a dangerous precedent.
Scary. You're so scared of this, aren't you, Tommy?
I genuinely am. I really am.
It's
Yeah.
just some
I
background
do-
stuff
I see
going
your
on.
point.
Yeah,
I mean,
see what you mean,
we're in a world now where we had Rogue One come out with an actor who's been dead for many, many years was like one of the main characters. You know, we can do a lot. We're in a world now where you can replace moustaches in films.
Can you?
A bit bad.
Can you?
But yeah, can you?
We're in a world now where you can try and replace moustaches in films.
We're getting there. All we need is a few black dots on someone's
It's
face.
so much easier to put a fake moustache on.
Is there one?
I bet they didn't even ask Paramount. I bet they would have done it as well. I bet they just assumed they wouldn't because they wouldn't have done it or something. Sorry. That might be an episode. Don't worry.
So the next trailer we got was for Daisy Ridley's next film. She's not being, as you'll probably say, Mary Sue in this trailer for Ophelia, which is the story of Hamlet's love interest. I don't know. I think Tommy's the one
Yeah.
that knows the
Question
most
mark.
about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously the story of Hamlet is fairly well known. Shakespeare's longest play. By quite some stretch, I think. I think it's quite...
Is it longer than Endgame? Or?
Quite... yeah, I would say so. It's quite wordy. So, yeah, and Ophelia is like the main love interest of Hamlet.
Yeah.
Sort of before he leaves and he comes back and then it's like a strained relationship, etc. So I think it's a really interesting choice to kind of take this perspective. So I'm really interested to see it. I love a good period film anyway. Love a good bit of Shakespeare. And I like it when they kind of take that different perspective. Kind of like the Lady Macbeth, that sort of thing. And yeah, I'm really interested to see this film. The trailer really worked for me.
Yeah.
It was the right sort of style because there's some stuff in Shakespeare that now can be a bit over dramatic and over the top that might not necessarily work in a serious film. Whereas from what we're seeing so far, it looks like they've blended the two quite well.
Yeah.
But then again, you can market a film any way you want. Like The Favourite looked like fairly straightforward kind of period film, and it was not, was it?
No.
They didn't advertise that hip hop dance off.
Have you watched that yet?
Yeah. Well, that's his favourite. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Aside from the weird.
Although if they
advertised
advertised that hip hop dance off, I would have been all about it.
Yeah. Some montage. of
Just
that
saying.
shit, Yeah.
Steve, what did you think of this trailer?
I mean, in terms of the art direction, it kind of gave me like a weird kind of discount Game of Thrones vibe. It was like, we sold on all the props and costumes of Game of Thrones. Let's just put it on this film. I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me.
But I mean, people said that, but I don't know if you watched it, the Macbeth film that came out a couple of years
No, I
ago
didn't see
with
it, no.
Michael Fassbender. Did you watch it?
I didn't see it. No, Marion Cotillard as well, right?
Yeah, and that film is gorgeous. It's really well shot, and I don't know. That's my natural comparison because I think that's the last Shakespeare film that I watched. And I don't know. It hasn't got the same sort of cinematography sort of thing that really stood out with Macbeth. I think a lot of people were put off by the used Shakespearean language in that film as well.
I'm fine with
Whereas
it.
this one hasn't.
I've-
It hasn't gone for that, and I think that makes sense.
The thing about the sort of Shakespearean language, there's like a 5-minute period where you have to sort of tune in.
Yeah.
So like you watch it and then like 5 minutes in, you just understand
It
it.
clicks.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
really
it's
strange.
really strange.
Yeah.
You just sort of like absorb the language a little bit, and then it just makes sense.
But I think that's such a big put off for a lot of.
What did you guys think of the Baz Luhrmann Romeo and
I
Juliet?
really like it.
I love it.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too. I
so
really like
much.
it too.
Yeah, and so that's interesting. But then obviously that's. I don't know if anyone hasn't watched it. That's Romeo and Juliet, but like in modern times.
Yeah,
but
it's
they speak in-
contemporary setting, but
with Shakespearean language.
Shakespearean language.
And yeah, I don't know. It's
Have
really.
you ever seen
I really
those?
like-
If Star Wars was written by Shakespeare books.
I've seen
I've seen
it.
him in shops.
but I
no,
haven't-
I
Yeah,
haven't-
have you ever like flicked through?
No,
They're
no.
really interesting. It's just full Shakespearean language, and then they're written as plays, like Shakespeare plays. But yeah, the Star Wars stories, they're really cool. I might pick some up.
So you have like Chewbacca and like Shakespearean, like, doff
What?
under yonder. I don't know.
How does Yoda talk in Shakespearean?
Probably pretty similar. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly the same.
I really want to check it out. Actually,
Yeah.
it's a great concept.
Yeah. In terms of Daisy Ridley, is it one of her first kind of on-screen roles since Star Wars? Because I know she's done a lot of animated stuff.
No,
She did Murder on the Orient Express, but
I mean that's like a headliner.
you don't see her much. There's obviously her other film
Wrecking My Brain.
that's never going to come out
the
by
one
the
that's
sound of
in-
it. Chaos Walking with
Chaos
Tom
Walking,
Holland.
which
Tom
sounds like
Holland's-
Chaos Walking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Behind the scenes, those poor people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Over 100 million on reshoots.
That's always a good sign.
It's still not out.
No.
They filmed that 2017.
I mean, she was funny in Peter Rabbit. That's my last impression on.
Oh yeah.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
She got anything else in development? You know, as you say, like live action, not, you know.
Not that I can think of.
Not yeah.
I know she did obviously Peter Rabbit. She did like a Japanese dub as well.
Yeah, she did one of the jobs for the dubs for the anime. That's,
Is she-
you,
is
that's
it
your
really?
forte, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Isn't she in Doctor Dolittle as well?
Yeah, she's going to be voicing one of the animals in Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Dolittle.
Once again, apparently having some trouble with filming. Is that right?
Yeah, that's another reshoot one.
Reshoot
that's
hell. Yeah.
Gonna have fun. What is it with reshoots? But reshoots are normal.
Yeah, reshoots are a normal thing. But
I don't know. It is more worrying
It
when they
depends
have
on the
extended
extent.
reshoots.
yeah, like fantastic.
So
Four.
while Tommy looks up what Daisy Ridley's doing with her life, which is nothing by the looks of
She's
it.
got a few things, but nothing
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 jumping out.
notable.
Nothing
yeah.
stand out. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some of these things could be like, incredible.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
but-
yeah.
nothing's like, oh, that she's in that.
Oh,
So
she's
with a mainstream director.
she's
yeah.
in the next Star Wars. Did you know?
Is she?
Yeah.
That was one of the droids.
What did you think of this? Yes or no, or maybe, or
Yes,
Then
for
Van
me.
Helsing.
It's a yes for me.
It's a maybe. I'm in there to see it. Big
It's
fan
a
of
yes for me.
Shakespeare, but
and I think we should get more Shakespeare plays.
I'm all down for more
adaptations.
He's dead. Oh, I thought you meant like new ones.
coming soon? Question
I was
mark.
like, James, I hate to break this to you.
So the last trailer that we're going to talk about is for a film called Crawl. It's really generic horror. Get away from the alligator.
Oh,
I mean,
from
we've seen
Animal
it.
A
The
or B.
trailer
Yeah.
showed the whole film.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a Sony trailer.
No,
No.
it's a Paramount trailer. I mean, I like Sam Raimi. I like that he's going back to horror. It's not really my genre.
He
but
isn't directing.
I just like to, is he not?
Is he
No,
producing?
He's producing.
Yeah.
Those damn trailers, they're so tricky
Yeah,
with
I
that
know.
stuff, aren't they?
It's like
Because
a
I
tease.
did know it before.
But yeah, it's just
It's Alexandra Aja.
so set in
Who did
Florida.
Hills Have
There's a
Eyes.
hurricane. There's big floods and there's giant crocs and he's under a house for 2 hours.
It looks like a cool
Good fun.
concept. It looks like a a fun little film, but judging on the trailer, no, because they've showed me the film. So I have no interest in going to see a 3-hour version of the 2 minutes I just saw.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we saw,
Not gonna be
we saw
3
like,
hours.
like 10 deaths with different characters and whatever.
That's hyperbole.
You always kind of get these generic-y horror films that kind of sort of do it. I think of 47 Meters Down, which is getting a sequel.
Even
that-
Don't Breathe, which
Yeah.
is the same director.
Yeah, and you kind of, I don't know, they tend to do well because they're so cheap to make and people
It's a
people
big
watch this.
audience.
Yeah, there's that big horror audience that just go and watch horror films at the
Yeah.
cinema. So I'm sure for them that it works well, but maybe.
Yeah,
That's my-
it's
maybe.
a no for me,
It's a no
just
for
because
me.
of the
I
amount
feel like
they
we're
showed.
on like the X Factor or something.
it's a no from me.
So that's all the trailers. There were quite a few other like trailer twos, but
Like it's the second trailers, weren't they?
yeah, there was a few for like Hobson Shaw, which I'm sure Steve is excited for.
Once again, I laughed. It was funny. I love the scene when they're fighting in the hallway. And
What's,
they're in
um,
separate sides.
What are
and
you guys hearing about
It's great.
Keanu Reeves?
That he's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Or
Have-
reported
What in Hobson Shaw?
Yeah.
I saw it last night.
Had they not wrapped filming?
I thought The Rock was doing some reshoots in Hawaii, but I think that was for Jumanji. Because I know a part of the film is
Yeah, I
set-
think it is.
Because there's reports coming out that Keanu Reeves has been cast in Hobbs and Shaw.
Search for it on,
I didn't
on,
know that.
on your
But
phone,
that,
Tommy.
that film, I'm sure it's wrapped.
Yeah,
Vampire-
Well, it,
Whoa.
it looks done from what I've seen from the
Could it be a
trailers.
John Wick crossover?
It could be.
Oh my god, could you
A
imagine?
mad art? No.
Oh my
I was-
god.
I was saying
what
it as a
studio is
joke,
it
but
at?
now
What
I'm
studio is
serious.
it at?
Oh,
What?
You're getting excited now.
Well,
I'm not.
Fast and Furious is Universal.
Universal, but what's
Universal.
John Wick at?
I don't think it's the same. Universal.
Paramount? I don't
But
know.
imagine if it is.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
But-
I'm all in.
Coming from a person who hasn't seen the other films, and it was a cool trailer. Like, it looks like silly action, fun. I really need to watch these films.
You do need to watch all 8 of the other
All they,
Fast and
like back
Furious
to back in
films.
a single day, yeah?
Yeah.
I just
And
heard,
then
like,
let us know what you thought of all 8 of them.
I think it's the same with Mission Impossible, like, with number 2 at the
Summit
moment.
and
I'm-
Lionsgate.
Ugh.
I'm
Lionsgate,
on a
do us a
slump right
favour.
now.
Just send John Wick over
MI2
to
sucks,
Universal.
and apparently the other Fast and Furious films also suck.
What if it's his character from Toy Story 4?
Duke something. That's coming out soon, isn't it? Toy Story 4, June time?
June, July.
That's scary.
Yeah,
I'm
but anyway,
Yeah.
let's go on to our headlines
News
this
topics.
week. So after Endgame, we got a lovely announcement of they teased the James Bond announcement, and what we all
We watched it.
we all watched it together. We're expecting a nice title for the film, which unsurprisingly we didn't get. But they did say that they're filming in Jamaica.
Oh,
Keanu Reeves reportedly has a major role. Oh,
major
that's
role.
weird.
Oh, okay.
Love Keanu Reeves.
What if it's The Matrix?
Maybe.
Could be.
It's Warner Brothers.
I keep pitching this stuff as a joke, but then I think about it, I'm like, maybe.
The thing is about the Fast and Furious franchise is it's so bonkers at this point and it can go anywhere, and I'm just so on board for anything that they do. Like they could bring in like, I don't know, John McClane and make it like oh my god, I'm all about that. That'd be so great. Anything works. Anything.
It should be like an episode. We should try and mix franchises with Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
We've got
But
to do that.
the answer is they all work.
Yeah,
You can mix
everything
you can
works.
mix any franchise.
Anything.
Yeah. Van
Yeah.
Helsing.
It would work. It would work.
Like they could be on cars, escaping flying vampires with spinning blades.
Yeah.
With Hugh Jackman in
On the
it.
wheels. They could put
Jackman.
the spinning blades on the side of the wheels.
Yeah, and it could be set in Transylvania. I'm getting excited about this, guys.
Anything
This is
works.
the only way to get Steve to watch Fast and Furious. That there might potentially
Or any film.
like a 1% chance that it'll cross over.
Yeah. What about space? Have they been into space yet?
Not yet,
Not yet.
Oh.
But they can totally do
but
it.
they 100% will.
I'm just saying.
They have to. It's
I
the
don't know
next
about 9, but I'm
Imagine-
thinking 10
Imagine Benji.
in space.
He can pick locks,
Oh,
right?
Fast and Furious.
I bet he can drive a car. I
Oh,
bet he can
good.
hotwire a
Oh,
car.
he can 100%
Oh,
drive a car.
hotwire in a car, little Benji.
Like,
Oh,
like
little,
Kirby as well.
little dog car, not like an actual like,
A little side car,
Lamborghini.
like Wallace and Gromit.
no.
Oh, like a full car. Oh, it's not a side character, it's a main character. But yeah, you can see him in space. You have that Vin Diesel strapping a car onto a spaceship in some strange way. I don't know.
I'm all about anything.
Anything.
Fast and Furious. Anything.
I've got right. So let's go back to Bond 25.
Even Schindler's List.
Oh yeah. Bond in Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it's
Bond would work.
Yeah, the Aston Martin.
Yeah, exactly.
They have ties with like the CIA or whatever, in there.
Bond 25. It's in the Caribbean. That's
It's
literally
in,
about
they're
it.
filming in Jamaica, the same place they filmed Doctor No, which is everyone's like, yeah,
And then
great.
we've heard behind
Give
the
us
scenes.
a title, and they're like, nah, we're not giving you a title.
It was the way they. I don't know. I thought it was rude. I thought it was the way they was like, no, we've never given a title this early. Like, why would you expect that? It's
Yeah.
well, because you've called this announcement video to announce nothing. Like,
They announced that you're filming in Jamaica, which everyone's like, oh, cool. But then they did announce the cast, and we got a lot of returning characters.
And-
Daniel Craig's coming back, believe it or not. He's
so he didn't smash that glass in front of him and slit his wrists like
no,
he said he
he
would.
didn't.
Once
Uh,
again, on the
so how much did they
rumor
offer him?
mill.
Yeah, they must have offered him a lot, but this was his last one, his contract, and he's definitely not
Yeah.
coming back
Yeah,
again.
but I've heard that he's been really awkward with it, and
probably.
apparently they've only got written in stone like the first act. Apparently, Act 2 and 3
Oh,
are still like being written because of
Oh.
him. He's just being like really a tight ass about it. I don't know, it's just rumors.
I have to say, the Kerry Fukunaga, he didn't look overly enthusiastic about making a Bond film.
He's doing a Bond film. It should be like amazing.
Like he
exciting
seemed
about it.
like a director who's just going through, and it's just a big studio job, and he's just taking it. It doesn't seem like someone who's like passionate
Yeah.
about Bond, which is kind of what I want for Bond.
It's just I'm doing it.
Did you guys get that impression as well?
Yeah,
from him?
no, I
yeah.
definitely got that impression, which is I really like Kerry Fukunaga,
Yeah.
and I want to see more stuff from him. But like,
Agreed.
If Bond's not for you, then don't do it. I'd rather someone who, like, I think Nolan said that he wants to do one
Oh,
eventually.
yeah, it's one of his favourites.
I'd love to see him do one, or
I just
again,
think
maybe it's just because they're my two favorite directors, but
Danny
him
Boyle.
I was
or
gonna say, if I
Phil
think Danny Boyle,
Nerve.
I just
I'd
get
love to
upset.
see would do one.
I just think like Bond is such a unique franchise in that it's got such a rich history, spanning decades and decades and decades. It's got a unique style. It's a genre like unto itself.
It is like generational. Like everyone's.
Yeah,
everyone
I
knows
mean,
the
it
Bonds.
really like invented the British film industry, which is still thriving to this day.
Yeah.
Like most American films are filmed over here just because of tax benefits.
Cha-ching.
You're welcome, Hollywood. So yeah, I feel like it doesn't feel like he knows quite the
Yeah.
significance and importance of what he's got to do.
Oh, what he's doing because the script's
Like,
all over the
like
place.
when you get to do a Star Wars film, you see these guys, they're over the moon. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, it's not quite there for me.
Yeah.
Like
So-
when Gareth Edwards came out of Celebration, you could tell this guy knows he's made a
Yeah.
Star Wars film. He's
Yeah.
excited.
Mm.
He gets it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that impression from Keith now about Bond, and
Mm.
that worries me. And this other stuff that Steve just,
Thrown in to the mix.
that also worries me.
Well, in terms of the big bad, we
Yeah.
also found that out it's going to be Rami Malek.
Yeah, Rami Malek is confirmed. It was heavily rumoured for quite a while, and even like when he went on talk shows and stuff, he was like, "Oh, I can't really talk about it.
It just
It'd
looks
be cool if I was."
He just looks scary and always looks unsettling to me.
But
Like it works, I guess. He just looks scary.
I just don't
Sorry,
want
Rami.
another like
Young tech guy.
young. Yeah, I don't want a tech guy. I don't want it to be like the physical side of Bond against another mind again. I'd like to see Bond against like someone physical, I guess.
Like Silver though.
Mm.
But even like to an extent. But I don't know. I would like to see someone more of an equal to Bond,
Like
Silver
Like-
was pretty equal to Bond.
like a Henry Cavill in Fallout.
Or Henry Cavill in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah,
mm.
which is the Bond film they should be making.
Yeah,
in
that film
the
was
60s.
fantastic.
I
Get
really
Guy
like that.
Ritchie on a Bond film. I'll take that.
Oh yeah. I'm surprised we're not getting any return of Mr. Waltz.
No, that
Unless,
yeah, that
unless
was
they're keeping it secret because I thought they were going to set
potentially.
both films to be the
Maybe,
next.
but I think maybe the critical reception.
I
maybe
did. I liked
deterred them.
Spectre more than most people did.
I did actually. I
Um,
liked a lot of that film.
And
It's
did you
better
like
than
Skyfall?
I don't think it's the sum of its parts.
It's
I like
better
it.
than Skyfall.
I like it better as I watch it, as I go on.
Yeah.
At first, I was kind of underwhelmed by the
Or
hype
Spectre.
with Skyfall.
Okay.
And I didn't love the Bond song, but as time goes on, I like the Bond song more. I like the film
Yeah.
more. It's undeniably gorgeous, but
Yeah.
that's Deakins for you.
It's very much, I think, a slow burner of a Bond film. You really,
Yeah.
I think you'll sit and watch it.
Yeah,
until
I like the
first.
Kincaid
Yeah.
stuff. You
Yeah.
know, I do like stuff like that. The retiring Bond. I think it's Judi Dench's best.
Yeah.
Bond performance.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with this.
That made
They
it sound like she played Bond.
The best performance of Bond.
kind of- Imagine.
It was her best performance in the Bond film. I'd only see her play Bond if it was in a crossover with the Fast universe.
Yeah, so the rest of the cast, a mixture of unknowns, and like you got Billy Magnussen, who people obviously know, then Anna de Armas, who was in Blade Runner, and you also get Ray Fiennes returning, as well as Naomi Watts,
Great
Ben
casting.
Whishaw,
Is Ben,
Jeffrey Wright.
Is Ben Whishaw back?
I just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Even though we're on a podcast, I didn't hear you.
Leah Seydoux coming back, which is interesting because she was the one that walked off with Bond at the end. But they've also seemingly cast another Bond girl. So is she going to die? Probably.
Well, probably.
It is
It
Bond.
happens.
Yeah. So that's it for Bond 25. Maybe they'll give us a total eventually.
Maybe it's two Bond girls.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a Bond guy.
That won't be the first time.
A Bond guy, that would be.
Maybe she's like the odd job. She's like the
Oh,
Dave
maybe.
Bautista's sub.
Like a sexy
Villain.
odd job.
With sharp nails.
No, like your Act 2 villain, not your
yeah.
Act 3
Yeah.
We've all seen Bond films.
Yeah. So the next bit of news.
She's the Jaws.
Oh, what if she is?
What if she was
Jaws?
actually Jaws, yeah.
In Fast and Furious.
That would so work in Fast and Furious.
It
What I'm
links.
thinking. I'm not talking about Jaws, the character from Bond. I'm talking the shark.
Bruce.
So the next bit of news that we got this week, Steve's excited about this one. Chicken Run is getting a sequel.
Chicken Run 2.
Steve famously loves sequels, but he's really excited about
Did
this
you
one.
see
Because I wanna see
Early
it.
Man?
Early Man. No.
I did. I
just
didn't like
heard
it.
it's
I really didn't
weird
like it.
football film.
Anyone did, really.
No.
Like,
Is that a worry about Old Man? Do you not think they've maybe lost their touch?
Ooh, you've got
think it's just a miss?
You've got Shaun the Sheep 2 coming out. Wallace and Gromit, I think obviously has been retired ever since the.
Shaun the Sheep 2 looks good.
Yeah,
I've
it looks-
seen
number one's
some
really
stuff
funny.
of that.
Um,
Number one was a real sleeper, wasn't it? That
Yeah.
really.
I've
yeah,
heard
surprised
really. I've
everyone.
never watched it, but I've heard
It's
really,
really
really,
good.
good
It's
things
hilarious.
about
It
it.
got nominated for
Yeah.
Best Animated.
Yeah.
yeah, and you've had what? You've had Pirates and an Adventure with Scientists.
Yeah,
as
I've not seen that, but it's meant to be
well.
amazing.
Yeah, it's been some good hits there.
Historically, I love Old Man.
Mm.
I just heard Early Man was a real miss.
Is it Mrs. Tweedy in Chicken Run? Because as a kid, I
Yeah,
had a massive
that
crush on
rings a
her as a
bell.
kid.
Really?
Yeah,
You've
I
never
You
You have
ceased to
the
amaze me.
weirdest one.
I had lots of her. As a
Obviously, I'm really rooting for them as well after
Yeah.
the fire they had at their studio.
Oh yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I kind of want it to be a win for them. I'm on their side. I'm just
Yeah.
cautiously.
As I'm on the side of all films.
That's true.
It's so British, Aardman Studio.
Yeah.
It's
It
so
is,
quintessentially
yeah.
British. And as a studio, we've really got to champion that kind of art and that kind of work. Because stop motion is so hard to do.
So the Chicken Run's obviously The Great Escape. What are they going to do for the sequel?
Ah.
Did you know?
Fast
Escape
and
to
Furious.
Escape to Victory. They're going to
It's gonna be a crossover with Early Man. Yeah.
Do you feel like it's too late?
I mean, it's been a long time.
It's
Not been as long as Blade Runner.
It's like 20 years.
20 years.
Not as long as Blade Runner though. That
Well,
worked.
Well,
Yeah.
we saw it as kids, and now we're somewhat adults. So I think really it's gonna be.
Somewhat.
I
Speak
don't- I don't
yourself.
reckon
Most of us are.
I feel like a big kid, but yeah, I think it's going to open up a whole new
Shared
generation.
universe. Ooh.
Oh, the
What if it crosses over with Fast and Furious?
I'd watch it. It'd be great.
It's all in claymation as
But
well.
no, I'm picturing it's not in stop motion or anything. They just get regular chickens.
and a rooster as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, speaking of the roosters, do you think we'll see Mel Gibson back as Rocky?
Ooh,
I mean,
maybe.
Hollywood are starting to forgive him. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
He was in that great film, Daddy's Home too.
And the one with the puppet as well.
Puppet?
Yeah, is
Beaver.
The beaver, that's it.
Jodie Foster.
God, that's
Oh,
a weird
yeah.
film.
What was you gonna?
Just a massive.
He was still gone at that point.
Yeah.
Well,
And then I
no,
think it was just after Hacksaw Ridge because obviously that was marketed as from the director of Braveheart, not
No.
from Mel Gibson.
no.
But I think after that he's slowly coming back.
The role fits as he's playing a cock, so
Wow.
low hanging fruit.
Let's move
Sorry,
on.
guys.
Sometimes they're just a sweet Steve.
Yeah. So the next bit of news was probably my most excited bit of news that we've got this week. Is that F. Gary Gray, who directed Fate of the Furious and Straight Outta Compton, is going to direct a Saints Row film.
I think it's a great fit.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Saints Row is a game series. It's a bit. I think people automatically compare it to GTA. Really.
Well, originally it
Just
was
as-
essentially a GTA
Yeah.
clone,
It
wasn't
was
it?
meant-
And
yeah,
then
that's
they,
what it was meant.
through the second one, they started to lean more into the humour and
Yeah.
find their own a bit, and people seem to respond well to that.
And number
Which is
three,
when they
just-
went all in on
they
number
just took
3,
cocaine and
it's
crack.
straight up comedy.
Yeah.
It's great.
So I'll be interested to see which tone they land on for the film.
I think they have to go for the comedy side of it.
I don't know,
But
I
then
don't
I'm
know.
worried
I
that
think
they'd
they could go
lean too
serious.
much into it. You think serious?
Yeah, like a straight out Compton, that kind of vibe, but have the Saints as like a street gang, not as like.
What if? Because I think this actually kind of works.
Okay.
This is like another Fast and Furious.
Oh,
I know
I'm gonna
I know
say
we're talking about it, but
Okay.
like if you think about if it starts off serious like the game sort of did, and then gradually gets more stupid,
Wacky, yeah.
like Fast and Furious did.
I
It
guess-
actually
I
makes
guess
sense.
you can as
I've-
franchise potential, but have it as a rough kind of like mob film. Have Sean D and Piers. All
I think,
the
I mean, if you've ever
characters.
seen Friday, it's kind of F. Gary Gray, so it's kind of like a,
Mm.
gangster hood like film, but it's also kind of funny and like,
Yeah.
easily watchable. So I think it's probably sit in that area.
Mm.
I mean, they could go straight up like, straight out of Compton dramatic with it.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting.
or kind of like Deadpoolish, like Tim Miller, that kind of.
Maybe.
vibe.
Yeah.
I'd like maybe if they went like full like Jump Street, just like outrageous comedy with it. I'd be fine with
Yeah,
that.
I think
that'd
that'd
be fun.
work.
But to be honest with you, I think the source material is rich.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
I think
Definitely.
the director's very talented. F. Gary Grace is very
Yeah.
talented. So I think it's kind of a win-win. I'm looking forward to see what Every puts out.
So that's kind of it for the headlines. The big thing that we'll get to in a second when we start talking about box office, kind of dominated all the headlines for the last 2 weeks or so. So I'll just go through last weekend's box office.
Okay.
Right.
In fifth place was Shazam with
Shazam!
five. There we go. Thank you, Tommy. 5.5 million. Breakthrough came in at fourth with 6.8 million. Curse of La Llorona coming in with 8 million.
Is that a new release that week?
No, that had been out
Week
a week.
before.
Yep. Captain Marvel coming in at second place, which actually went up from fourth place to second,
wonder
getting
why.
just a little bit more. Yeah, I wonder why.
What
Maybe
did second place make?
8.3.
Fairly
Captain
low.
Marvel made 8.3. For some reason, it was just a really quiet box office weekend. And there was a little film called Avengers Endgame, which came out and only made 350 million opening weekend,
Bloody hell.
breaking every record under the sun.
That's domestic.
That's just domestic. It's
Some films don't make that worldwide in
Yeah.
2 weeks.
yeah, and like what it will make next week is more than a lot of films will make just in its second weekend.
In its whole run.
Yeah, exactly. It's obviously already crossed 1 billion in the fastest ever. In I think it was 5 days that it did it worldwide, which is insane. I'll just look up what it's at now overall. 1.6 as the time world billion.
Speaking about that, I kind of want to sort of step backwards as well slightly. So obviously the fastest ever piece of any media ever to break $1 billion was GTA 5 when that released.
Yeah.
If Saints Row is a successful film, do you think we'll get a GTA film?
I don't know why we haven't already. I'm surprised that Saints Row is the one to come out first, because obviously with Saints Row 5 that was such a big. Like when that made $1 billion, that was such a huge game at the time, and everyone was talking about, everyone was playing about.
Yeah.
And it surprises me that we haven't got anything already for it.
I think it's down to Rockstar really, and how really kind of tight they are with their franchises and their IPs.
Yeah, it does surprise me a bit, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get one.
But
I'd be down to watch
I'll probably say next 5 to 10 years probably. But before, I don't think it wasn't a place for it. Like
I think there's definitely
like
a place
a rated R video game movie.
No, I think there's a place for it.
I think there is now, but in the past there probably wasn't.
I don't know.
You think properties like Deadpool are paving the way for
Yeah.
that sort of
Oh,
thing?
okay, yeah.
Studios wouldn't have done it back then. I don't think.
Yeah,
it's like the Mortal Kombat movies.
But it's been a while. What was it? 2012?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since Deadpool was 2014.
Yes.
It's just a crazy game because I think it's still in the top 20 every week for like.
Yeah,
Like
it's insane.
games
People
for-
still play it.
Yeah.
But,
Well, they still make ridiculous money just from the
Yeah.
microtransactions.
From
Exactly.
the online because playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online is absolutely.
It's pretty because I
boring
think
as hell.
it's longer. It's been longer now. I mean, we're not a games podcast, but it's been longer now between 5 and now than it was between 4 and 5, isn't it? 2007, 6 years. 2013, 6 years.
wow. So that means we're getting GTA 6 soon.
I think next year or the year after.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, it's not games.
They'll
Yeah,
probably
it'll be a
wait for
couple
the
years.
next gen. But anyway,
But anyway, Endgame.
In game.
1.6 billion at the moment. That's what it's on.
so it's already broken into the top 10 highest grossing films of all time
Yeah.
in its first week.
Which is it's bananas.
Even saying that out loud just doesn't it? When we was talking about and predicting, what sort of where we was going to see it land, I think we all expected it to make this kind of money early on, but I don't know about this early on. I think this is pretty unprecedented.
I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting it to hit 1 billion within a week, but I wasn't expecting it to be in the top 10 already.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Do you think we'll see that kind
In
of
fact, you
money
can check out my ranking of the top $10 billion movies. There are 39 of them.
without inflation?
See if
Without inflation. Sorry, Gone with the Wind.
yeah. So see if did Endgame make the list.
It might
Watch it. Go and
have
find
to
out.
find out.
Yeah. So it's made 1.
Might have been a Fast and Furious film in there. I don't know.
I know it's talk about the weekend, but like overall wise, foreign wise, it's made 1.2 worldwide, and domestic has made 450 at the time that we're recording this.
It's going to hit. It's probably going to hit 1 billion domestic, right?
You think? I don't know. It's difficult because obviously Force Awakens was the closest. I think it got 900 and something domestic.
I think it's going to make more.
But the thing that
Is it going to hit? Is it going to catch Avatar? That's the question.
I think it will.
You think it's going to be number one?
Maybe that's purely because I want it to, because I don't like Avatar.
I do.
Yeah, I know. What do you
prefer?
think?
What do you prefer? Endgame or Avatar?
Avatar.
Really? What do you prefer, Avatar or Van Helsing?
Van Helsing.
I wanted to. I like the more. I think it's more of a cinematic achievement than for Marvel.
Van Helsing.
Yeah,
I love Avatar.
I think
it makes you cry.
It's really hard to pull off those spinning blades, and they didn't.
I think
But they are props though. I've seen them. I went to Universal Studios when I was a kid, and they had like a Van Helsing exhibit, and you could see the costumes and the props. I think that's when my love for it really started. It's like, that's Hugh Jackman's coat.
I don't want to talk about Van
I
Helsing
could
anymore.
have touched that. Anyway,
Can't wait to launch our new show, Digesting Van Helsing with Steve Graham, Stevie Poo.
whole study. But in terms of this massive amount of money, do you think this is the last time we're going to see that for a Marvel film? Obviously, we've got.
It's not the
break.
last time.
We've got a break now. We've got smaller Marvel films coming out. I don't see Far From Home making this
I
kind
mean,
of money.
No, it won't.
The thing is, you do have these strange things happen. I mean, Avengers made silly money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First Marvel movie to break $1 billion.
Yeah.
Then the film after that was Iron Man 3. Not everyone's favourite. Still made over $1 billion.
Mm.
So sometimes the next film, I mean the original Spider-Man. This is going to be crazy to say out loud, but it broke the record for like the highest opening weekend. I think it was like 100 and something million, which is crazy now because it did that in a day.
Yeah.
So Spider-Man is obviously a huge property, and it's going to be the first MCU film after Endgame, which is making crazy money.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy to say it's going to be $1 billion film.
I don't know. I think it could make $1 billion, but I don't think it's coming anywhere near what this is going to make.
What about Lion King? Just in terms of like Disney and their IPs.
I think that's going to make Beauty and the Beast money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say the same. And I think if Aladdin is good, I think it could.
Yeah. What's the release window between the two of those?
Aladdin is end of May.
Okay.
And I believe
Lion
King's
summer,
July.
I think it's like July-ish time.
July.
Okay, so they're not
just
going
in
to
general then for the House of Mouse, they're going to make bank this year.
Yeah.
With Toy Story
Crazy
4
ones
as
the-
well.
the-
And Star Wars.
The thing is,
Yeah.
they already have.
I don't know what they have. It's so scary. And
Are they going to earn what they spent on Fox
Probably.
in a financial year?
Probably.
within the next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah. So let's look ahead to next week's box office.
The future.
We've got a few films coming out. Long Shot, Ugly Dolls, and The Intruder.
What are these films, James?
They are films. So Long Shot's the Seth Rogen,
Yeah, Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron. Ugly Dolls is an animated film, I believe. And The Intruder, I don't have a clue what it is. It's a film. It's coming out.
Okay, Steve, you want to start? Because you've got quite a controversial list.
Actually, no, I've changed it slightly.
Oh,
Of course.
Number 1, Endgame.
Why didn't you start at 5?
yeah, start at
I
5.
can't start at 5.
You
Yes,
can.
you can.
I just
You've
did
got
it.
your list. Just go
It's
backwards.
just my brain doesn't work at that
So you
way.
haven't written it down? Is that what you said?
I've got it on. It's in my head. That's what matters.
Right,
I
you
don't
need
need
to write it
pen and
down.
paper.
That's your
Well,
problem.
you clearly do. If you can't go backwards.
Okay, right. I'll add a bit. It's fine. So number 5. Number 5 is going to be The Intruder.
Okay.
Number 4, Breakthrough. Number 3, The Curse of La Llorona. Number 2, Long Shot. Number 1, Endgame.
Interesting. Captain Marvel's dropping off.
It's gonna drop. It's gone now. She's finished.
What do you?
And
How much
did
do
you
you
miss
think?
there? Ugly Dolls? No Ugly Dolls?
Ugly Dolls. No. I'm gonna go into on Google right now. But Vamp, while I'm doing this. 'Cause I've never
No,
heard of this
you've
film.
made up you've said your
yeah,
5.
I know
now.
it's set in stone now. I'm looking at Ugly Dolls.
What's your number for Endgame?
My number.
Yeah,
Just in case there's a tiebreaker and we have
just
to
in case there's a tiebreaker. How much do you think? 350 last weekend.
285.
Wow, no.
That's huge. Tommy, go for your 5.
So my 5. So at number 5 is Captain Marvel, I think.
Interesting.
I
I
think
wonder if we've got the same list.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, 1 for 1 so far.
At number 4, Long Shot.
Okay, well, no, we've got
Okay,
different.
different list. At number 3, I think The Intruder. At number 2, Ugly Dolls. I think that's going to be the big rival because I think it's the kids market.
Yeah, fair enough.
Endgame's not going to be for all those children.
No,
So I think it's good counter programming.
fair enough.
Weird cast.
And then at number 1, what's the cast?
You
What?
got Nick Jonas.
For Ugly Dolls,
Yeah. Go on. Do number 1 first.
I think it's obvious.
You sure?
Curse of Lulu. No, number 1's going to be Avengers Endgame.
You got Nick Jonas, Kelly Clarkson, Baby Rexha, Lizzo, Charlie XCX, Emma Roberts. It's basically a poor man's Trolls, from what I can see right now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a very small studio as well. I think it's like Brazilian.
What number do you have for Endgame, Tommy? In case there's a tie break, which there's not.
153?
Interesting. Not 205.
Not quite.
Not quite. So my top 5 for this weekend will be Captain Marvel at 5.
Mm-hmm.
I've put The Intruder at 4.
Okay.
I've put Ugly Dolls at 3. I've put
okay.
Long Shot at 2. Endgame at 1.
I think the Long Shot audience is very similar to the Endgame audience.
Yeah, but I think some people don't want a repeat viewing.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I
they
think
might
it's
just
the
go and
people that
watch.
haven't called it yet because it was sold out everywhere.
I don't know. It just makes it different. So.
Yeah.
Keeps it
That's
interesting.
just where my thought process
Yeah.
was. And then I feel like The Intruder and Ugly Dolls, kind of two
But
different audiences. To
Potentially, I
Endgame.
think Long Shot has more of a. I don't want to sound sexist, but to perhaps get more of a female audience that aren't as the romance audience than because I think that's what it's trying to go for audience wise, the rom-commy sort of
I don't know. I feels like it's more marketed as a Seth Rogen comedy than a.
No, I know.
Charlize Theron
But I don't know. Having watched the
vehicle.
trailers, it feels like.
I mean, it
a
should
rom-com.
be
Yeah.
because the way it's set up, it could easily just be her film.
And I've got an Endgame making 175.
175.
175.
Cool.
We'll see.
Who knows? Are you
Oh.
willing to put a tattoo on this?
Hell no. for Ugly Dolls, the main studio is Troublemaker, and that was done by Robert Rodriguez. So
Oh, cool.
Alita, Spy Kids, and also 100 Years, which is the film that's going to come out in 2115.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So excited for that! I can't wait.
Can't wait.
But we'll be there.
So
Opening
that's it for this week's. In case you missed it, as always, go and share on iTunes and
We're everywhere, aren't we now?
Spotify,
So-
and we're gonna be and YouTube now. So go and give a like and subscribe over there.
Social media.
And social media, we're on Facebook now. That's the main place to follow us.
Where else are we
I'm
now?
on
Are we anywhere
Twitter.
else?
I'm on Twitter.
We're not posting anywhere else.
It's James's thing, the social media. So
The-
so we have to ask.
The
you.
Instagram's there. I'm
Where are
gonna
we now?
start posting on there. I don't know about Twitter. But where can I find you on Twitter, Steve?
You can find me at Stevie Poo Poo.
And Tommy.
You find me at Mr. TT Green.
And I'm at Floodgate28. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye.